Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome back. I'm trying to catch up on some of my backlog on tags or different videos and stuff. And Mike over at Bibliophile Reads had like a discussion that he did about reading habits that he tagged me in. So I wanted to continue that discussion. And also talking about reading habits, I want to do a video, maybe take a month where or maybe just I guess throughout this year, maybe once every couple of months, I want to reread, do rereads. There's a couple of books that I've been wanting to reread. I know that there's some that I need to take extra time on just because I've read a lot of classics, and the more I get into them, the more I'm realizing how badly I misunderstood or didn't fully grasp the importance of some of the earlier ones that I read. So even if they're not favorites, there was a couple that I wanted to reread, but I definitely wanted to reread some favorites. I am doing a buddy reread with Saracen and Doug. Saracen Salute we're going to do Leap of Faith sometime this year, like beginning of the year or something. It was one that I had already read, and he just got Saracen's Salute. He just did a big, huge book haul video where one of the books that he got was Leap of Faith. So Doug wants to join us in that rereads, or in that buddy read. So I'm looking forward to that. So I do want to make a video plan to do some rereads, and I also want to do a video plan where I want to do a video series where I'm recommending books, nonfiction, and then like a fiction that might go along well with it, or vice versa. If a good fiction book, and then finding a nonfiction book that might make it a little more well-rounded reading. And I've been wanting to do, and I still haven't put it together because there's a whole lot of books that I want to go through to figure out which ones to include. But basically, a book discussion about favorite sequels, retellings, remakes of books. There's a lot of companion books that have been coming out where different authors will do something to further a story. So they'll write a prequel, a sequel, they'll do a retelling from a character from the main books or the original books, a different point of view, and just a lot of those are more inclusive. They give you a more in-depth view of a famous work and stuff like that. So I do want to do that series soon. But there was a couple of books that I wanted to read so that I can not just recommend them because they're on my TBR, but because I've read them as well. So that's kind of why I've been putting it off. So anyway, those are some reading ideas. They don't completely fit this reading habits questionnaire thingy that Mike had mentioned, but I did just kind of want to include that because it is kind of why I read different things, and as I'm reading them, kind of how I'm coming up with ideas and stuff for videos. So some of his questions that he wanted to discuss and stuff were why I don't set reading goals, and these are his why he doesn't. So I'll say yes or no whether or not I agree. So I do arbitrarily, but I always set it low because I know I'm going to read more than that, but I don't want to make my reading a how to get as many done. Oh no, I didn't reach my goal, I better read smaller stuff. I read big and small stuff all the time. I read, comic books, children's books, YA, middle grade, like I'll read anything. So I don't really care page goal settings or how many books or anything like that. I'm just trying to read as much as possible because I really just truly enjoy reading. Do I buy books faster than I read them? I absolutely do, yes. Um, how do I decide what to read next? I've always just gone on instinct, my moods that I'm in, whatever rabbit hole that I went down, and how I just did a wrap up video, and you'll see how widely my range of reading goes. And so, whatever I'm in the mood for, if I just read a whole bunch of heavy books, I'm going to read something later. If I read something that really inspired me, I'm either going to try to read something else from that author or maybe that era, or just completely find like a sliver of information on something mentioned and go down a rabbit hole for ages. I just whatever. But I do now tend to try to read what other people are reading, not so much book wise, but genre wise. So, like, February is Black History Month. I read a lot of Black authors and books about different movements and stuff all year round. But I am kind of focusing on certain ones that I still had on my TBR that I haven't gotten through. It's also Fantasy February, so fantasy books and stuff like that. It's also the Olympics, so I've been reading sports themed books and if I can get to it, maybe like an international book or two. So I kind of read now. I still want to read things that are on my TBR that I prefer to read, but if the mood strikes, I am going to still try to read the genres or the challenges or things that other people are reading, just so I can join in the discussion. If I can't find something or if I move on, I'm completely fine with that. Like I said from the first one, I don't really have any goals. The role of reading in my daily life. I read a lot. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well. I'll listen to them while I'm getting around in the morning, while I'm driving to work. For my lunch break, I'll read. I'll read driving home from work while I'm cooking dinner. I'll listen and all that stuff, and then I'll sit down and read as well. So I always make time, so I do read a lot throughout the month and throughout each day. Why don't I track my reading stats? I do log all the books I read. I used to keep a reading journal, but now that I've been doing YouTube videos and stuff, I don't so much do that. It saves paper, it saves my hand from all the writing, and I still, though, since I don't have the physical tracking that I used to, I do still log things. I go by Storygraph and just write, like, list each book that I read. That way I kind of know, if I've read an author before, if something sounds familiar, I want to, instead of rereading something that I completely forgot about, and, I want to be aware of things that I've read. That's the only reason that I track it. I just want to kind of know along the way. How do I balance my TBR piles and spontaneous picks? I don't balance very well, which is why I buy books faster than I read them. But I am working on that a lot. I have a lot of stuff that I got towards the end of the year and stuff that I plan to read this year, and I do want to make a good effort of reading all the books that I already have. My spontaneous picks now will be if I can get it from the library. And even that can't really truly be spontaneous, because a lot of times somebody will mention something, it will sound good, and I'll have to put it on hold at the library, and then I'll have to wait until it comes available. So maybe by then I'm not as keen to read it as I was originally, and so that kind of does determine what I read next and when as well. And it kind of stops the spontaneity. It does not stop the spontaneity buys, just the reads. How do I deal with reading slumps? Um, I do like, so this month, last month I read a lot. This month I'm still reading quite a bit, but I'm also watching the Olympics when I can. And I'm a huge sports fan, so women's basketball is on Unrivaled. It's a 3-on-3 professional women's league. And they're actually going to be starting, uh, I believe, this week. Will be a one-on-one tournament, so I will be, paying attention and only doing that. So that will take away my like nightly reading after, but I'll still be getting audiobooks and stuff done because I'll still be doing that same routine of getting in the morning and at work and all that stuff. As far as reading slumps though, I if I find it hard to concentrate on a book, like it's just not doing it for me, instead of just not reading at all, I'll just pick up a different book, and then go back to that one when maybe my mood is right. How do I choose between fiction and nonfiction? I primarily enjoy listening to nonfiction and reading fiction. uh, I I love podcasts. I haven't been listening to them as much as I used to because I'm doing audiobooks more. But I just loved listening to all the nonfiction. Like I would listen to like there's a Noble Blood podcast about the royals and different historical events and travesties and horrible stuff. And then there was several like science or psychology podcasts, a couple economic ones. So I kind of got in the mind framed of like almost being at a lecture and taking notes and stuff. And I actually prefer that to physically reading. It takes me a lot longer to physically read because I'm highlighting everything, I'm looking it up and stuff. And when I'm listening, I'm taking notes and stuff. That way I can say, what I'm going to look up later when I have a chance. I seem to do that a lot better. And fiction isn't as fun reading on audiobook for me because I like to fully submerge myself in the world that I'm reading. So I do try to read more fiction when I'm physically reading. But as far as choosing one or the other, it's literally a mood thing. It's what is my interest at the time. And now it's what events are going on. It's a Historathon that I'm participating in this year, so even a lot more nonfiction than usual. Even though I do usually do like 25% nonfiction, this year I think it's going to be quite a bit more than that. And then why do I love reading without a plan? Like I had said before, just because I want to mood read, follow any whims and discussions, and sometimes if I'm reading nonfiction, I want to know what's going on in the news, and so I'll learn about that country. A lot of times, now that I've been reading around the world, I'll read multiple angles from a country. Last year, I was really interested in Iran. I read a couple of fiction books that led me to several really great nonfiction books that I read, and so no real plan, just following my moods, my whims, my there's preferences, whatever I have access to, especially if I have things at the library and they come due, that's what I'm going to read. So no real plan. I know that there's some that are like hard on my list of I will read that this year. But other than that, a lot of ones have come up that I wasn't anticipating, and some of them have already. I've really had a great February. Or, not February's not been as great of reading. Did have one 5-star book, but I had a really great January already, and so I kind of like the way that I'm reading, following what I'm in the mood for, and maybe that's why they're more 5-star reads than usual, because I am following those moods and reading what I want to, and it's the right time for me to read that book. So I'm finding it when I need it, and it's exactly what I want. So if I were to plan and schedule and be rigid about things, I don't think I would enjoy reading as much as I do. And I just want it to still be something that I look forward to and enjoy. I don't ever want it to feel like a work or a hassle or a conflict because it doesn't fit with something else. I just always want to make sure that it stays fun and enjoyable for me. And I read a lot of books, and I'm really glad that a lot of you have been fine with me discussing a wide range of genres and types of books and different types of stories, whether it, like I said before, if it's poetry, it's plays, it's children's books, young adults, middle grade, really hardcore issues, fantasy, sci-fi. Like, I literally will read and talk about anything, and I'm grateful that so many of you have been on this ride with me and seem to not mind all my meandering. So I'm just going to keep doing what I enjoy doing. No huge plan except for maybe trying to plan the videos that I want to do in advance. But my reading is always just going to be reading what I want to do. And I hope you stay with me for that. Anyway, this was my basically a video response to Mike's. And I'm sorry that it was so delayed, but I wanted to do all my reading wrap-ups for January, and then February is already getting ahead of me, getting away from me with all the stuff going on. So I finally got it in, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. And thank you for the discussion. Thank you for thinking of me and tagging me. And I hope that you enjoyed this, and that all of you enjoyed this. Have a great day.